Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B. I'll do my intro about halfway through the show. Ricky Sakat in the chat. Good to see you. So, New York Giants and the Lions were both fined for the fighting, even though it was mostly instigated by the New York squad. We all seen where Malik Neighbors swatted Kirby Joseph's helmet so hard he damn near took his head off. So Kirby Joseph retaliated yesterday and the benches cleared. Malik had it coming. He bitched out. But I'm hearing conflicting reports from both reporters. I've heard Giants reporters saying that yesterday by noon that Neighbors was 50-50 with Arnold. And he was targeted like 6 times, which means there was 3 plays that Arnold covered him well. And then at the end of the day, another beat writer who's very renowned says that Neighbors went 16-17 yesterday. And I was like, that isn't possible. They said he had three that he missed in the morning. How can he be 16-17? So I'm thinking it's somewhere in the middle there. Somewhere he might have been targeted 17 times, but it's probably closer to like 9 catches. It was over 50%. I heard he had a great day, but I heard that Terrion Arnold, when he was covering him, had a great day too. And I'm not taking anything away from Neighbors. Neighbors is an amazing talent from what I've seen in the videos I've watched. But I literally saw at least 4 pass breakups and an interception by Arnold. We didn't hear anything about Rakestraw getting a pick yesterday. So that being said, it's all here, neither here nor there. Branch was not taking part in the 11-on-11s, but he did have a pick in the 7-on-7s. Laporta's dealing with a hammy issue. So they're just playing kid gloves with him, which is fine. I don't want him hurt for the regular season. What I got most of my reports about the 50-50 stuff and back and forth was from Giants writers, not from Lions writers. But they said for the most part, Lions won the red zone drills with outscoring them 4-2. So that's good news. Our red zone defense is still doing what it did last year, stopping people more than we're getting stopped. And that's all that matters to me. The other thing that matters is no major injuries. Hallelujah. With all that fighting, something could have happened catastrophic really easily. Because, most of our Lions writers were not in East Rutherford, New Jersey at the Quest facility. But Buddy Conquito. Hello, good sir. Ricky Sakat and Paul Jones say, what? That being said, both teams are fine for the fighting. NFL's treating it like they did in high school after the 80s got started. Well, if one of you fights, both of you are gonna get punished. It doesn't matter who instigated it. Jesus Christ, this politically correct society we live in is killing me. What happened to the guy that started it got what he deserved. And if you won the fight, you get the fine. That's the way it should be. Used to be whoever won the fight is the one that got punished. Back in the old days, it was whoever started the fight. Who started this fight? Tell me now. And most of the time, the kids wouldn't say anything. So that's when they decided to go for the both people will be punished thing, because we protected each other. We weren't snitches, because we were always told snitches get stitches. Well, I'm not a snitch, so I'm not saying. I manned up when I was in Montrose in the one fight I was in. Kid had it coming. He called my mom a whore. He can say a lot of things, but can't call my mom that. So I am just going by what I've read, and I'm putting all of it together. And I'm quite sure he was either 9 or 11 of 17. That's what I'm going with. He had a great day. He still was over 500%, and it's not taking anything from the talent of Malik Neighbors. Oh yeah, I'm proud of our Lions from not backing down. We didn't get our ass whooped halfway through the week, and tonight is the NFL roundtable talk, and tomorrow I will be doing my pregame thing, which we know the game doesn't matter, but we'll talk about it anyways tomorrow morning. But I am proud of our Lions for not backing down. I am proud of how they handled themselves under that fire. Because if it wasn't for Brian Dable telling his team to quit bitching out, we probably wouldn't have had those fights. Say what you want, but Kirby threw some haymakers on Neighbors yesterday. All I know is I'm happy to hear that it went much better for the defense day two than day one. And what is 100% the reason for that? Can anybody tell me who was in yesterday? Yes, that quote from Daniel Jones about how the Lions are tougher and stronger, it is real. He actually said that in the after practice presser. I can't wait to see who they put in. I don't care. I heard we're doing 90% of our starters will not be in this game. So will we see any of our starting trench guys? Probably not. You probably won't see Hutchinson. You won't see Aleem. You might see everybody else on the team because Reader's out. You might not see Davenport either because I heard he's been having a great. Oh, I'm trying to fuel that fire up. I've been talking all sorts of shit about the Chiefs last year. Last year, the highest QB not named Mahomes to have interceptions called back due to penalties was 7, and it was Josh Allen. And you know what? It was only a fraction of what Pat Mahomes' interceptions that were called back due to penalties, whether it was defensive holding, pass interference, late hits. I don't think they need to do it. I think we need to wait and see what the hell happens as undone. And I don't want Michael Thomas on this team. Michael Thomas is a cancer in the locker room and can't stay healthy. He can kick rocks and go suck on somebody else's team. Go suck a paycheck. We just accidentally got rid of Mosley. Why do we want to add another oft injured player to this roster? That makes about as much sense as wiping your ass and taking a shit. Come up with a better option. Don't say Michael Gallup because he retired because he can't be the one in the Raiders. I disagree with you. Josh Reynolds is not clutch. He had to go. Stop defending people who's fucking cost us a game. His piss poor attitude and how he handled it is why he's gone. Excuse me while I argue with a Giants fan. No, Reynolds disappeared in the fucking playoffs. He was a chump. I'm just excited to see humans in NFL uniforms play ball again. LOL. So tomorrow is so close, but so far away. It is. And you know what? I'm just sick of all this bullshit that we need this guy back and we need another guy on this team. Yeah, it's on Fox, so no one should have a problem seeing it. At least that's a regular station on cable for most people. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know who's starting. They still have Suckbelt listed as the 2, even though he's thrown more picks than Hendon Hooker did last week. But, oh, but Hendon Hooker's the problem. Jesus Christ. I am sick of so much negativity on this team. I am sick of it. Our fans are worse than they were when we sucked. When we sucked, you had a reason to bitch. Now that we're good, you guys still bitch. I don't get it. We won with this team last year with a horrible secondary, and our secondary is better. So everybody just needs to shut the fuck up and watch some football. I just don't get this. I don't get the negativity. I don't understand it. Hating on a guy when he didn't have a drop for 11 straight weeks, who was the only one that scored in that NFC championship game. It damn sure wasn't Josh Reynolds. Motherfucker couldn't catch a cold in Wuhan, China in that game. I haven't gone to one yet, but I'll be one at one Sunday. No, it's not human nature. It's idiotic nature. Neighbors is a whiny ass bitch that can't handle being stopped. How's that, Lanner? Overreacts and slaps people that weren't even in the play. Oh, and he damn near tried to take his head off. That wasn't just a light tap on the helmet. Well, then quit adding to the nonsense of fans. Is undone is where I'm at. I said stop, and I want it stopped. I don't want to talk about who's not on this roster that we need because I don't think we need anybody. And he damn near pushed his head backwards into his shoulder blades if you watch the replay. His helmet snapped back. Hi, Trace. We just keep getting going up and up since last night. We went up another 6 subs. Oh yeah, 100%. He tried to cut and run 8 more, and we're at 500 people. That's how much we've grown. Think about this. We were just at 250, not too far back. Yeah, Mr. Negative is here again. He ain't stopped yet. Good luck with that because Meek wants to keep his nickel slot. So I think he'll be a backup. Neighbors has no reason to retaliate for anything that happened before he was in the league. And here we go. The views and opinions of Jeremy Ballrick Jr. and his Undone does not reflect that of Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions or Smoking Jeremy B. Jeremy Ballrick Jr., dad, I say trade Gibbs and give Dalvin Cook 3 years, 75 million. Boy, Jesus Christ. Stop. Stop making these stupid fucking clips. Mention. No, no. You said negative about everybody but Rake a Straw. You even talked negative. You've talked negative about everybody. Our wide receiver room is a problem. Manu sucks. Broderick Martin sucks. This guy sucks. That's all you do every day, and I get sick of it. That's all. We need another wide receiver. There's only one thing we agreed with. There's no excuses for AG this year. None. None. This defense sucks. He's got to go. Predicting a loss in the Super Bowl isn't optimistic. I don't want them to lose. We get there, we might as well fucking win it. Slap them right in their dick. Because they got Stonehands Jabroni 2.0 on the team, Xavier Worthy. Ranning Q in the chat. What's up, my buddy? Yep, so both teams get fine. Giants instigate, Lions back it up. I mean, Neighbors tried to run from Kirby so fast, you would think that Kirby was a 280-pound linebacker chasing him down instead of 5'11 and 205. Just saying. He knew he was wrong. There is no narrative to. Oh, Jeremy Ballard Jr. copied my. I there he comes in with all sorts of stuff. But thank you, Debbie Arrow. Appreciate it. One of our new subs from last night. I subbed back as well because I always sub back to the people that sub to me because that's what you're supposed to do. That's how we grow. It's a social thing. YouTube is a social construct, whether people realize it or not. And the only way channels grow is if you sub somebody, you give them a sub back. It's no different than Twitter. It's no different than Facebook. I need to take a quick minute. We're going to watch my intro while I take a quick break to go take care of some business.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Campbell.
Oh gosh, I do love watching that. Seeing those plays from Aleem, Gibbs. I need to get the one of the branch pick six. I need to get that 75-yard touchdown with Monty, with JMO blocking everybody in there. I also need to get one of those JMO long pass touchdowns. But the one thing I notice that's going on the long touchdown passes now is that they're not hitting JMO where he has to track it every which way. It's going to the proper shoulder, which means one of two things happen. Either that chemistry is right, or Goff has or JMO has fixed his route timing. And the only way I don't give two fucks is undone about anything. Last year's over. All I've heard about Campbell this year in this offseason is he's one of the best linebackers in our group, showing leadership, breaking up passes, and everything else. You could talk crap about last year for a rookie all you want, but he was second in the team in tackles. I haven't made anybody a moderator yet, but I'm about to because we're starting to get to where it's hard for me to do. And I just don't want trolling of players on our team. That's all I'm talking about. Yep, JMO and Goff have grown up together. JMO more grown up than what Goff has. Goff came here grown. I mean, he was a 26-year-old man when he got here. And was I happy we got Goff? Yes and no. I didn't like it because of who we had as an offensive coordinator. All I know is Dan Campbell, Kelvin Shepard, and AG can't say enough about how much Jack Campbell has grown since last year to this year. And that's all I need to hear about. I may do that, Trace. There's a couple of you I'm thinking about for it. All I know is I've heard conflicting reports about results of certain players from both teams, but I do know that JMO in day one scored on our first two drives, and the Giants didn't. And Dable told his team to quit laying down and taking it in their house. And that's when everything got chippy. Oh yeah, I love Goff's backstory too. I mean, he took a team to the Super Bowl. Whatever happened between him and McVay happened, whether the girlfriend stuff or whatever was real. I think I think it had more to do with the fact that they were on either Instagram or Snapchat and they were texting back and forth with pictures. See, but the difference is last year Jack Campbell was still transitioning from college to NFL, and linebacker is like the fourth or fifth hardest position to transition to the NFL. Yes, there are more of those that have been good right away, but way less than there have been of offensive and defensive linemen, which are the two easiest to transition. Defensive back and quarterback are the two hardest. We are not going to see the first team at all. They're saying 90% of our starters will not touch the field in any game, Ranting Q. So I doubt you see Branch. I doubt you see Kirby. I doubt you see Hutch. I doubt you see Jack. I doubt you see Anzalone. I doubt you see Davenport. I doubt you see Hutch. And I doubt you see Aleem. Everybody else on the defense, except for Carlton Davis and Terrion Arnold, is on the table. You might see Terrion Arnold just because he's a rookie. On offense, you won't see Saint, you won't see Goff, you won't see the starting offensive line. They said they're using them more in those joint practices to get their reps there because that means more than getting them hurt in a game. We've heard Dan Campbell say this. He didn't even want to play Goff last year, but Goff begged for it. This year, they told him no. Uh, Goff did play one game. Goff did play one game. It was part of the first game, and then he went off. Sam Laporta's still nursing a hammy, so you won't see him. Uh, and I'm happy we're not putting our starters out there to be hurt. Say what you want. Why do you need to hurt your starters? Yes, that's all the preseason is. It's watching who might make the team. If you want to be able to see people play in the first string, you got to go to practice. Much as I hate to say it. which Trace, I will rock Eric Rain, I got the Uberlite guy, and all of that. No, not even in the first quarter. You are not going to see any starters. It's, I doubt Manu gets in. Right now, he's considered third or fourth string on the offensive line. You might see him in the second half. I want to see Vaki and Window. Vaki is still coming back from a shoulder. You probably won't see him this week. They said Jared Goff and the other ones. Yeah, I just want to see people play. I want to see football, meaningful football. So you know what I want to see? Week 1 of the regular season. You know what this is? This is evaluation time. That's all it is. You know, I don't think anybody's going to have a closer eye on the guys you just said than the coaches of the staff. Any fan that thinks they're going to have a closer look to what's going on with people on this roster. You know what Manu is? Manu is a massive pile of Lego blocks, and Hank Fraley's going to try to build them into a masterpiece. I'm excited to see Jake Funt play. The kid is a stud. Oh my god. I just can't. I'm not even gonna read it. That right there. Oh my Lanta is a bad take. I think Green, DPJ, Derice Fontaine, Khalif Raymond are all gonna get a lot of playing time. Well, there's only 3 strings on the roster. So it'll be the second half when they come in because the first stringers aren't playing. Hey, what's up, Captain Jack Sparrow? Woody Bach, my brother from another mother in the chat. Because right now, Manu is listed behind Colby and Sorsdal and Connor Galvin even in the depth room of tackles. Right now, with Zietler being out and it was a minor injury, he'll be back soon. Where is James Mitchell? Right now, they have him listed as tight end 4. He's a tight end 5, excuse me. He's listed behind Parker Hess and also Shane Zylstra. And if Shane Zylstra doesn't play better, Parker Hess may beat him. I think you'll see him in the second half because these games don't. Oh, Jesus. And there's another one, another fake troll. But I love it because, you know, they say anybody that imitates somebody is the highest form of flattery. So give me my info. What's going on with practice? The first stringers are all playing in practice and not in the preseason games. But I think it's closer to like 11. Have I heard anything about Davenport? Davenport has been looking fantastic and maybe looking like the secret weapon we needed. He's actually been playing the run well against the first string offense. The defense is actually ahead of the offense so far when they're playing against each other. So, right, Goff doesn't need to play at all in game. We already said that. The coaches have said that. That's another troll account because look how they smelled mania. It's mania. And more comments is good for the algorithm. Yes, I do understand that. That's why I don't tell you to stop. Do I tell you to stop commenting? No, I just ask you to quit being negative. That's it. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to tell somebody, stop, go away, unless they're absolutely do not listen. But Davenport is more than likely going to be our starter with Levi relieving him at times because right now Reeder is our DT2. But until he comes back, you will see more of Levi O, Broderick Martin, Wingo, and a rotation in that spot, including Josh Pascal. Josh Pascal is dropped to third teams. Say what you want. Pascal and Houston are playing with the third stringers. Betts, uh, Betts, Wingo, and all those guys have been playing with the second stringers. Martin has been in and out of the second string whenever somebody has to be relieved. So I bet we will see Martin some in the first half tomorrow. And yeah, David is a huge golf fan. I won't get into how much of a golf fan he is. Reeder is supposed to be back by week 1 of the regular season, but that remains to be seen. It depends on how well that quad is healing. It might be week 2 at the latest, which means he might be just put on the injured list week 1. Arnold was back on the field yesterday. He's playing. He's fine. He cleared concussion protocol about 11 a.m. Yeah, our depth compared to previous seasons is so good. Woody Bach, I love the depth too. You know, I've said this before. This roster may not be as top end talented as the 2014 roster, but it's deeper talent wise than the 2014 roster. Because you take out DeAndre Levy that year or Stephen Tulloch or Rashid Mathis, that team doesn't make the playoffs. Take out Ndamukong Suh. Take out Ziggy Ansah. I mean, we had some take out Nick Fairley even. Nick Fairley had his best year that year next to Sue. You take out any one of those guys, that team does not make the playoffs. Do we need more competition at kicker? It's a yes or no thing with me. We play 14 games indoors. So far, every miss Jake Bates has had in his career has been outside. We only play 3 games outside. So I'm not really scared because guess what? Outside, he's had a long of 62 so far. We haven't had a guy that could hit 62 in forever here. Well, since what? Prater? And we should have signed him. Actually, bro, we've had this discussion, and when you put it like that, this team is way deeper. Are you concerned we lost Mosley? A little bit, because Mosley was looking like he was going to be our starting nickel. He was playing so good. And I'm going by what coaches have said, not what fans have talked about with all the INTs that Rakerstraws had, which is all fine and dandy. Yeah, I'll panic when Brad Holmes does. If Brad Holmes panics and gets somebody, then you know it's something major. I mean, think about it. Mosley goes down, who at one point, when healthy, was a top 25 corner in this league, and actually closer to top 15. So he gets hurt this year, and it was looking like prior to camp, he'd have been lucky to be the cornerback 5. And after a few practices, all of a sudden he moved to the nickel. Weak pec muscle needs to train with VD. I don't know. VDs have been looking flabby lately. He's lost too much weight. His are weaker than I mean, has Brad Holmes came out and said, "Oh my God, our wide receiver soon sucks. Our defensive end sucks." Oh, mentally, I think he's going to be done after this. I mean, he literally was playing some of his best football this camp that I've seen him play, even in because I went back and watched video when in his good years at 49ers camp, and he wasn't looking as good as he was this year. So I was actually excited to see him get on the field, and I'm quite sure mentally he's ready to retire, possibly. I personally think they need to go ahead and put him on the physically unable to perform and put him out to pasture myself and let him decide if he needs to retire after this year. I wouldn't even let him back on the field this year. I'd let him heal up and go somewhere else. That's just me. I just don't think he has the grit or the intestinal fortitude to go on. I mean, yeah, he tears one ACL, first game back, tears the other, then it wasn't first practice back. It was first joint practice he tore a titty. Yep, I want to see what this Fontaine kid is all about, and I'm quite sure he'll probably be one wide receiver one next year to Jim Bob Cooter. Best football name of a coach ever. But I'll tell you this, I'm 100% a better OC than Ben Johnson. Ask Reggie Bush. Hmm. Jim Bob, you became the OC in 2017. Reggie Bush wasn't on the roster. You left after the 2018 season because when Matt Patricia came in and told you to be more conservative and not do your cool plays. 2017, we were an explosive offense. You did run some great plays. Ben Johnson's a way better and more consistent offensive coordinator than you've been. Who's impressed you the most? The top three and most improved? Tracy hasn't retired yet and still a free agent. Yep, I get it, but we don't need Big V. Constantly hurt, constantly out of the lineup, rarely plays more than 14 games a season. Bye. Zietler will be fine. Forget my comments, LOL. Have a blessed day. Uh, who's impressed you the most? The top three and most improved. My top three. My top three. My top three on the roster would have to be Hutchinson, Branch, and Aleem, and that's defensively. I have a top three offensively. Of course, it's Goff. It's Frank Ragnow because we saw when he was out of the lineup, we lost 5 of the 6 games he was out. And the other one is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those guys mean more to this roster than the rest of them, in my opinion. And I think it's Penei Sewell because that kid's yet to miss a game. He's played both sides of the offensive line at a high level. He's been a Pro Bowler. He was an All Pro. Um, yeah, Penei Sewell for me all day it gets in that top 3 to 4 mentioned. Um, behind this offensive line, and I'm not trying to disrespect Goff, but I think a lot of QBs would have success. Why is DPJ struggling? They're barely using him. That's what I've saw. He struggled more in the one-on-ones. He doesn't create separation. He's never been that guy. Not with his speed. He does it more with his route running and crossing routes. So in one-on-one situations where they got to keep it in a 4-yard window so far down the field, he's up. Do you think Levi will keep impressing or fizzle out? Is Panay already a Lions O-line GOAT 100%? Brad Holmes, keep a lookout, Jeremy. I'm on the verge of pulling off a pretty investment trade for peanuts. Good. If it happens, I'll be happy. Yeah, I got Panay and Frank as our GOATs, and Taylor Decker's close. I think he ranks right behind the two of them. So my most impressed offseason so far, Jamison Williams and the way he's came back. Jack Campbell. Um, See, and I think Ragnow and Sewell is more important than Goff, is my opinion. I have Goff fourth, really. Yeah, I'm not trying to dog Goff. Don't. Anybody take it as that. I'm not dogging Goff. I just feel like this O-line and St. Brown are more important to this team. Hell, you could almost throw Gibbs and Monty in there as a duo as more important on this team, because if they're not running like that, Goff can't do the things he does, because what he is a top 5 quarterback at play action. He dipped a little bit last year. Harbaugh suspension. Yeah, so far everything has been on guys that are on the Chargers staff. There's been nothing against Sharon Moore that they can actually link to him. So far, so good. This O-line is a cheat code both Goff and Ben Johnson, 100%. We all we saw that game where we looked horrible versus the Packers on Thanksgiving. We were missing 3/5 of our starting O-line, and that was the first time that particular round of O-line started together. So that's another reason why we looked like trash in that game, and we still only had one more starter back the next game when we faced against the Bears. And lo and behold, they rushed right through everybody, and Sweat made Decker look like a turnstile, leaving the blind side open. We all saw it. We knew it was going to be a bad day when we saw Sweat move to the other side. Enough peanuts in a hammer, you get peanut butter. Yep. And it just depends on if it's sweet enough or not, because peanut butter by itself tastes like shit. Just released 1 minute ago, 1 year suspension from any college campus. Oh, I know. It was actually released over an hour ago. I read this a while ago, Orlando. It's finally hitting the news wires now. I saw it. I saw what was being proposed yesterday. So they finally did it. Yep. Defense, Hutch, Branch, and McNeil. That's my top 3 right now. Because until the rookies do it on the field in a game, or the new acquisitions do it on the field in the game for the Lions, I don't consider them a top 3. And that's why it's Branch, Hutch, and McNeil on defense, 100%. Um, Potential of being top 3. Davenport, Reeder, Betts even. Because right now, Betts is playing better ball than Houston and Pascal. The only thing they said about Betts, they said, man, he was doing so good. We tried to move him around a little bit to see what else he could do. And I think we gave him too much all at once because he struggled there. But he's still doing good at defensive end and special teams. So that might be his niche. That might be where he stays. That is what was said about Betts. Oh, and that explains everything. You're a Spartan fan? Oh, no wonder. Barnes news? Not that I know of, unless something just broke. Oh. Oh, let's see. Derek Barnes news. Let's see. No, it just says he details the little things and a big difference, making a big difference in the pass rush. Um, that's about stuff that I saw when he was at Purdue. He's having a solid, nothing great, nothing flashy. Yeah, if we're using him at the Sam and the defensive end spots, oh God, buddy Conquito, I feel sorry for you. It makes me almost want to cry. It's like me having a daughter that that's a Spartan fan. That's what it makes me want to eat bullets. I'm joking. Every time she says she's a Spartan fan, I feel like I failed at life. She's coming around though. She realized that the Spartans are probably 5 years away from being good again. They were relevant for about 10 years. And I'm giving them credit for the 10 years they were good when they whooped up on us 9 out of 10 times. Trace, we can talk shit all we want, but lately Michigan State was the better while we had Harbaugh even. 9mm or 5.56? Not really. Zietler didn't return to practice yesterday. We were rotating some guys in and out. Oh yeah, I said Michigan Rain ain't gonna be that good this year. We're still beating Sparty because they're 2 years away from being relevant. You're gonna hear a lot about an orgy throwing into the red zone, going deep. I'm not that worried about the offensive line. Trivia: most laugh tracks were recorded in the 50s and 60s. We're listening to dead people laughing. Gotta give them shit away. Oh, I know. No, most laugh tracks are from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. To be honest, because the 70s they changed a little bit. This one is the 70s laugh tracks. This one is the 60s. And they still used them up until the 2000s. They should have said, this show is recorded in front of a simulated live audience. Until they actually did the live shows for a couple of them, I didn't believe they were live. Because I heard the exact same laugh on Sanford and Son that I heard on the Brady Bunch, that I heard on Chico and the Man, that I heard on Welcome Back Carter, that I heard on Happy Days. Oh, I miss the 70s too, when football was played by football, when men were men and women knew how to be women. Because right now, this feminist thing ain't the same as what it used to be. And I don't care what anybody says. There's so much that has changed. I don't understand where life is going. I don't understand how a government we cater to 1% of the population. That sounds like Carolina Panthers fans laugh tracks. That's awesome. Um, it depends on where you're going with it. I'm not trying to go left or right, but you can tell I lean a little bit more right. Um, so I'd rather not, because it opens a can of worms and then people start to get salty. I will say that science decides a lot of things for me, and I'll leave it at that as I'm done. You catch it? You guys all understand? Hey, like I said, Dave Tepper drove by a convenience store there in Charlotte, and it showed the Panther symbol, and it had the big words "Keep pounding." And when he pulled up in front of it because he was going in for a pop, in between where it said "Keep" and "pounding," it said "Getting." 70s and 80s, I miss the music. Oh, 100%. Um, Thank you, as I'm done. I just I don't believe in being totally offensive to people, but that's where I'm at. Yes, it is that time. It's getting to the end of the hour. It is FTP time. Put it in the chat. FTP, FDB, FTG. FTV, all of them. Fuck them all. Let the football gods sort them out. Good luck to the Lions this year. I see a Baker rematch in the playoffs. I do. I do too, because until the fail cants can beat the Bucks and take the division, I don't see them doing it. Kirk Cousins getting hurt and Michael Penix taking first team snaps. I'm not saying he looks bad, but it's not a good look. Not when you were considering you're going from Kirk Cousins, who basically is Dak Prescott in the regular season. He's going to get you top 10 stats. He's going to get you top 10 touchdowns. He's not going to throw you a lot of interceptions during the regular season, but he's going to choke after one round of the playoffs, just like Dak Prescott. Yes, I saw that. It was hilarious. Stopped there on my way to Florida, drove around telling random strangers to keep pounding. Yeah, you told us that, Orlando. It's funny. Yeah, their O-line is hurt. It's a good thing they signed Greg Van Roten to shore up the left side so they can move the other guy from left guard to right tackle where he was better. Um, they have a lot of stuff going on. Yes. But at the same time, it's time to talk about my other sponsor. It is Brandon's Tire Shop. Brandon Service. Right there on the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road. 602 West Atherton Road in Flint Township, Michigan. Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Used tires starting at $40. New tires, please call to get your quote. 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself. And yet, if you mention this ad, you will get $10 off any set of tires you buy. I think we'll see Manu in the second half there. I did miss a couple of chats, so I'm going to go back and read them. Damn it. I could see the Cowboys finishing last. Sorry about that, Chuck Thomas. Sorry, can't spell today, apparently, says Trace. Fuck the Lions, go Giants. Should I get an EV or stick with gas? I'll stick with gas. If you actually do the research, the companies that make the batteries for electronic vehicles actually put more pollution in the air from one plant, puts more pollution in the air than all the cars in America combined. After this week, we don't have to hate each other anymore this year. 100%. Malik Jefferson. Who's Malik Jefferson? Are you talking about Malik Neighbors? He had a pretty good camp. If most of Congress has their way, we won't have this automatic. You have to get an electronic vehicle by 2035, because what they're forcing people to do with the rising cost of electric and everything else, it's going to get to a point where it'll be more expensive to run your EV than it will be to run a gas. I still don't have an electric can opener. I don't use one either. I still have a gas stove. Well, have a great